Hey everybody, I'm Nicole.
I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Sarah, and together we're the co-founders of Whale Tales, a living library of cetacean stories.
And today we have an extra special guest with us who spells their name like one of us, but with an extra letter.
So sit back and enjoy as we dive right in.
Diddle-doo. There are many lovely things we could say about our special guest for this episode, but I was trying to be sneaky, so more on who that is later. First, it's Dolphin Awareness. We just talked about this off mic, but I can't remember. Awareness.
I wrote
It's
it
Dolphin
down.
Awareness Month. Woohoo! We are so aware and sometimes take action in support, not in hindrance, of dolphins.
Indeed. And in celebration, we have a very special dolphin-related guest joining us today. We have Sarah Matthews, who I'll
With an H.
sort of read. Yeah, Sarah with an H, Matthews. I'm Sarah without an H, so it's very relevant. Okay, so Sarah wrote us a great bio, and I love it, and I'm just going to read it to you because I think it's amazing. So, Sarah was an English and psychology teacher for 28 years who focused on teaching young people with mental health issues. However, she has always been very animal and wildlife focused, and so in 2017 had an epiphany when she saw a humpback whale in Devon in England, and it made her realize that marine life is outstanding. And then when she saw her first English dolphins, common dolphins, just 20 miles from her house, she feverishly began finding out as much as she could about them, and amazingly, returned to university at the age of 52 to complete a Master's of Science in Animal Behavior to equip herself for a late career change. Inspiring. Amazing.
Incredible. My hero.
Yeah. Right?
Hero.
She set up a Dolphin Zone CIC, which is a community interest company or a nonprofit corporation, as a platform for gathering information about common dolphins in their area with a focus on photo ID and public engagement. And she is now a member of the Marine Strandings Network, the South Coast Marine Mammal Consortium, the Southwest Marine Ecosystems, and she was lucky enough to attend the Common Dolphin Group at Azkabans a few weeks ago, which I don't know what Azkabans is, but I'm sure we will find out more. And she's hoping to start a PhD later this year and ultimately to do an entire lifetime's worth of research and conservation in the next 15 years or so.
So freaking
Amazing,
so amazing.
inspiring.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this conversation.
I know. So we actually haven't talked to Sarah with an H yet because the
Recording
way
schedules.
that we record schedule things. But we're super excited, not just about learning about her and her amazing career journey, and also Dolphin Zone, which is a fantastic name for anything, and also just learning more about common dolphins, the dolphins that nobody really thinks about
on the West Coast.
Here on the West Coast. Yeah. The common dolphins that we don't have here at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we are assuming it's going to be a super great conversation, and we're as excited to hear it as you are. So here you go. So now we're here with Sarah with an H, not to be confused with Sarah without an H, who's also here. Sarah is working in the UK with common dolphins, and we are so excited to have her here to learn about her research and also about common dolphins because we don't really know a lot about them.
Yeah.
So welcome, Sarah. Thank you for being here, and will you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thanks. I'm really excited to be here. It's a slightly surreal moment for me because when I decided this was what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, I was listening to the Whale Tales podcast. And now I'm here.
Oh, that's so, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it's one of those moments thinking,
Oh.
I wanted to be a dolphin person talking about dolphins.
Yeah, now you are.
Oh.
Yay.
You are.
We love to talk about dolphins.
Oh, the best. That's
So,
amazing. Wow.
What do you want to know?
Why don't you talk a little bit about, just generically about what you do now?
Like your current
and
research,
Your
what you're
current
working on now?
research,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then we'll go from there.
So my current research is with common dolphins, Delphinus delphis, who are undergoing major changes, major range changes, and potentially behavioural changes. So I set up a community interest company called Dolphin Zone, which is non-profit, and it has 3 strands to it. The first is a public-facing photo ID project so that we can establish whether our dolphins are here all the time, some of the time, or just visiting. The second strand is for a PhD, which I hope to be starting within this year, which is taking a behavioural ecology approach to the dolphins around here, because we don't really know much about their social structure. And the third is to get involved with policy and advocacy for the dolphins, because there is this huge knowledge gap particularly around common dolphins, particularly where things are changing faster than we can keep up. So that's Dolphin Zone.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So exciting. Yeah.
How did you decide to do this? And how did you pick dolphins?
Those of you, I think dolphins picked me.
Yep, as they do all of us.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you don't get a choice, do you?
No.
The very first dolphin I saw was a captive dolphin, which obviously I wouldn't do now, but this was back in the 70s. It was a dolphin called Smarty, a bottlenose at Windsor Safari Park. And I remember the show in which Smarty flipped a huge red plastic ball into the audience, and it landed with me.
No.
And the ball stayed in my bedroom until it completed, was just a sad mess of plastic. So,
about right.
I know. Since then, on and off, I've always been interested in wildlife, but I've seen dolphins wherever I can. So when I first went to the States with my now husband, our first dolphin watch and my first wild dolphins was off Cape Ann in 1993, where we saw a super pod of Atlantic white-sided dolphins.
Amazing.
A humpback whale, two fin whales, and then a minke whale blew in my face.
What?
Oh,
Whoa.
what an amazing first
watching
experience.
Yeah, sets you up. Yeah.
It really was. It really was breathtaking. And I still get excited when I think about it now. The first time I was really surrounded by dolphins, and I adore the whales, but there's something about that many dolphins and that much energy, which just has a very powerful effect on me. So every time we went anywhere, I went to visit the family in Florida and so on, I would always be, find the dolphins, and we did. And then a few years ago, I saw on Facebook that there was a humpback whale local to me down in South Devon, which is the south coast of England. And I'd never heard of such a thing being here. So I started to follow its movements through various sightings that were reported. And I rocked up one day at Slapton Sands, which is where she was most sighted, or we don't know if it was a he or a she, the whale was most sighted. And sure enough, there it was. And I just thought, I guessed it was going to be here. It's here. This is my home. And I just suddenly started thinking, well, maybe there are dolphins around here. I just never realised that there were.
Yeah.
So I then started to go out on a local dolphin watching trip. And I went so many times that they called me the dolphin geek. And then eventually, maybe to shut me up, they asked me to guide for them. So I started
Sounds
that.
right. Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that I may have anything to say that would be of interest to people. That company did actually stop trading, but I'll never forget it for giving me my first insight into, A, how I can be with dolphins, and B, how I can engage other people with dolphins.
Yeah.
And then I decided I wanted to chuck in my previous career, which I'd been doing for nearly 30 years. So I went back to university to do a master's in animal behaviour. I trotted off with my little backpack and the good wishes and some teasing from my grown-up children. And I was the oldest person on the course, but not by much, and learned all the things that I needed to start to learn. I won't say learned all the things I need to do this work. And that was back in 2022, 23. I'm really bad with years. So that course was a game changer for me, and I started telling everybody that I wanted to work with common dolphins, and realised that certainly around here, while there was lots of work on abundance, there was no actual deep work on the individual common dolphins and what their social structure was here. We only knew that we had an increasing abundance of dolphins, and nobody said, "What are you doing? You can't do that." Nobody said no. So I just did it. Did my course, set up my community interest company. I've got myself into various policy groups locally and internationally. And now I'm working with a 15-year data set from a very small area of the country to get some longitudinal work on the common dolphins. And that's where I'm at now.
Oh,
that's so cool.
That's Very, very cool. Yeah, I think your entire career change journey is so exciting and so inspiring, and hopefully for our listeners as well. I think Lindsay and I both have done like relatively late career changes. Like I switched from working in biology to now I'm a software developer in my mid 30s. And so I talk about it a lot with the like juniors and the students that I work with, because, you know, like they're in their beginnings of their career and like wondering what it's going to be like. And I'm like, well, you know, it doesn't have to be like what you think it's going to be like. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be forever. You can do
exactly.
2 years
or more. Or 3 or 4. Yeah. So, you know, I'm in software now in my mid 40s, but who knows where I'll be in my mid 50s. So yeah,
maybe we'll go back.
Yeah, exactly. I know, that's what I'm like, can I go back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just buy a boat and do something.
Very cool. Yeah. Okay, so maybe let's talk a little bit more about common dolphins in particular. So do you want to give us some like basic common dolphin facts?
I will do. So we'll start globally. There are 6 million-ish, which makes them, I think, the most abundant cetacean on the planet.
So common kind of works a little bit.
Yeah.
It does. But I just think that they are a little bit overlooked despite that. There's far more research on bottlenose.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If I could change their name, I probably would.
Well, yeah, you can join us in our quest to change names. I'm sure you're familiar.
I'm there.
Yep.
So there are 6 million globally. They are one species. They with 4 subtypes, and the subtype that I work with is Delphinus delphis, formerly known as the short-beaked common dolphin. Most of my work is obviously in my hemisphere, and in fact, narrowing it down, it's to a particular stretch of coastline down here in southwest England. So there are around 600,000 common dolphins in the northeast Atlantic. And then zooming in a bit more, there are around 19,000 in the English Channel, which is my population. But we don't know quite how many there are who actually live in the bays that I am doing my research in. That's the big population overview.
Okay. And so do we know anything, like, are they seen all year round there, or do we know if they go somewhere, or?
Well, we're getting a huge range shift. So common dolphins from to the east of me, so in the Ionian Sea, in Israel, in the Mediterranean, those populations are pretty much critically endangered. That's probably a multitude of factors that's caused that. At the same time, we've seen a massive uptick in our sightings. So, for instance, they were sighted on 11% of trips by one tour operator in 2011 and on 70% of trips in 2024. Yeah.
That's such a big difference. Oh my God.
It's just a big difference. They are all year round in Scotland, which used to be cold or too cold for them, but now they're there all year round. But the distribution is changing so rapidly that we don't yet know how that is affecting the rest of their well-being. So the thing that I am really interested in is the fact that pod sizes are now smaller, but we're seeing many, many more animals.
Right. So
it is
more small pods. Yeah. More small pods and fewer.
So the behavior is changing because that social structure is changing. But we don't really know how. I've recently found that we seem to have, and I have to kind of put a huge disclaimer around this because I'm in my very early stages of the official data analysis, but we do appear to have calving grounds down here in southwest England. We definitely see calves much of the year, but obviously we're not much out on the water in December, January, February. So you know, they may be all year round. I think that there's probably a calving season. I think we see most towards the end of the year. But they are definitely calving here. Whether they are calving enough for it to be protected as a calving ground, that's a part of my mission, really.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Huh. And so at least in your area, what are they feeding on?
They feed on mackerel, anchovies and sardines. For sure.
Bait fish,
But that means that they're heavily affected by overfishing.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
And our prey is changing, our fish stocks are changing again so rapidly that we don't always know from year to year what the common dolphins are mostly feeding on. But we do see a lot of feeding activity, so they're obviously feeding well. Common dolphins over in, I think it's Israel, are feeding on a particular kind of eel. So individual populations, I know, apparently they pick it out of a net.
Oh.
Very cool. But that shows me that the dolphins are really clever and that they will adapt their strategies to
Yeah.
whatever there is, wherever it is. So they're probably generalist feeders, and they seem to prefer quantity over quality of food.
Okay.
So they like to get a lot of fish in rather than, I think they like the junk food.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah, it's interesting to think about, like, aside from temperature changing and all of that, but just temperature, ocean temperature, and what they have to eat to stay warm
Yeah.
where you are as opposed to other places.
And we're not exactly sure yet what the correlation is between the fact that we have a marine heat wave down here in southwest England and we have a huge rise in the numbers of common dolphins. It's not going to be a one simple correlation, but there is
of course
huge changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so hard to know because, like, we have changes here that everyone's like, this is so abnormal with, like, the bigs and also Pacific white-sided dolphins coming closer to shore, coming back. But, like, those are things that are quote-unquote recovery, probably, but we don't know because we're just so unused to it because it's been, like, a century since this has been seen. So it's so hard to know if, like, maybe that's what it was before or it's completely different. Like,
For sure. We're having the same debate about the humpbacks here. So although we didn't get many humpbacks migrating down the west coast of the UK this year, last year we had some who were staying here a while, and we're not sure whether they are not able to get enough feed in their main feeding grounds in the Arctic, so they have to stop off halfway through, or if it's a good thing and they're reclaiming old migration routes. We actually don't know.
Yeah, that's similar to us, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. So many questions.
And, like, you know, there was originally a lot of speculation because it was so tightly timed with, like, we got humpbacks coming back, like, right around when our herring population strongly recovered, which was, you know, tightly tied to, like, environmental regulations around what you're allowed to coat dock pilings with, for example. So, but there's so many other factors. Like, it's not just herring. There's, like, other reasons. They're not going to, like, magically know that there's herring somewhere that they haven't been seen for decades.
100 years. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it's all about the nutritional status of the herring themselves, isn't it? So
we don't know that too. Yeah.
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 And
so
again, like, it's so hard to know. And, like, living in the Northern Hemisphere, it's so hard to, you know, do research in the winter because you just, like, even temperature wise, it's just physical. Like, we just talked to Tom in Iceland, who's doing I think their first ever winter survey, but, like, they had to, like, hold each other up because it was so windy. So one of them had to hold the camera and the other one had to hold the person. So, like, and they're on land, they're not even on a boat. So it's just, it's so hard to get a full year picture, let alone decades and centuries of, like, what's happening out there, even if you're close to shore. And so, and then let alone what they're eating and how they're giving birth and their body conditions and all of those things. Oh my God. So many more questions. Let's get a boat and go out and just solve all the questions.
Solve the questions.
Oh, that's my plan.
So much data.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's talk about Dolphin Zone, because this is obviously a big thing that can help with photo ID and having people send in their stuff. So do you want to tell us about kind of how you set it up and how it works and how people can do it?
Sure. So I started off being absolutely convinced that there would be a way of photo identifying common dolphins. There actually haven't been that many photo ID catalogues globally, around 6. Definitely none down here in southwest England, but then they've only been abundant here since 2015, so that's not really that much of a surprise. So I started in quite an ad hoc way by a couple of dolphins that I'd seen out on trips myself or sightings on Facebook, and started thinking, oh, there's not going to be another one like that, is there? Let's see if there's another one who's got a flappy fin. And so I started asking everybody to send me their photos, and they did, but always need more. I definitely need photos and an ongoing for the next few years. So I wanted to build a picture of whether we have site fidelity here for our dolphins. And I also think that it really helps people if they engage with individual dolphins.
Absolutely.
So Dolphin Zone is kind of it's very much research based, but it is designed to be inclusive. If you send me a photo of a common dolphin and it's not on my catalogue, you name it.
Oh, nice.
I know. And then ultimately, and I may not see the benefits of this for years, but ultimately, if that dolphin, God forbid, becomes harmed or bycaught, because that's one of the major threats to our dolphins, then perhaps that person will think, well, that was my dolphin. I really care. I'm going to advocate for the dolphins. I'm going to, put pressure on the fishing industry, or I'm just going to tell people about the dolphins. So I really wanted to start to establish whether we have site fidelity. And I've got some early resightings. So I've got, bear in mind that I did this ad hoc, just on the photos I had to start with. We have Flappy Fin, number 101. We have River Phoenix, who's very keen on being in the river. We have Charles Dolphin.
Oh my gosh.
Excellent. Yeah.
I know. I run out of funny names now, though. Now they're just called things like Notch.
Yeah, what happens?
So at the furthest apart I've got evidence of a dolphin is 10 years apart. Oh, that's pretty substantial,
That's pretty,
2013 and 2023.
Yeah, especially for a new project.
Yeah.
And the most resightings I've got is 7.
Okay. That's cool.
And again, I've only been doing probably this particular part of the work for a few months.
Wow.
Because I've been, doing my
Doing
other
all the
life.
other stuff.
I'm not able to do this full time yet. So I'm already building a picture that there is some site fidelity. I think the reality is likely to be that we've got some who live here, some who visit regularly, and some who pass by, just like humans.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How do you identify common dolphins?
So the very exciting thing is technology has finally caught up with what we hope it can do. And now there are so many more decent quality pictures and even videos from phones that not only can we use the traditional dorsal edge markings, we can use pigmentation patterns on their fin, on the dorsal fin, because they are stable over time. The New Zealand researchers discovered that they were stable over time, so they're reliable.
That's great.
We do get, there are so many different colorations of common dolphins. There's an infant on my catalogue who I haven't recited, but it was almost completely white. I called it Phantom. So the shading on the side is different in every single dolphin. And I've been really lucky. I'm working with Happy Whale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They're amazing, aren't they?
They're so great. Yeah.
And we're hoping to build a data set. Well, we are building a data set of the common dolphins down here in southwest England. Obviously, it's going to take a while to get the machine to do the recognition for us. But if it takes 10 years, that's still well ahead, and it may not take longer than that.
Yeah, that long.
So we can use a much wider range of photos. And that's why I'm always asking people, even if you think it's a rubbish photo or it's a rubbish video, if it's a highly identifiable dolphin like River Phoenix, who's got a funny shape in his fin, then I will be able to tell that even from a poor quality video.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When they're less identifiable, I do need a good quality photo. So I'm using a range of tools. At the moment, I've got some people who are helping me on the project. So we're doing site verification. So if I think that it's a match, I'll check it with one of my team. If there's one that we're not sure about, we actually don't put it through as a match because we need to be really robust and sure that we've got a match. And so we're kind of running the two systems. We're processing for Happy Whale and working with them, and we're kind of doing a visual matching here in the hope that at some point soon those two will dovetail. And who knows how many dolphins we can get on there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you. So chuffed with it. So chuffed about the Happy Whale thing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, we just actually got an email today that Gnarly was recited last week, which is always exciting. Like, I love getting emails from them to hear about stuff. It's mainly our sightings are humpback related, but it's still like, oh, they're doing such great work. And it's just, I remember in marine mammal class like 20 years ago, we're like, why don't we have like a CSI thing where they can just like go through and match fingerprints? And now we do, and we're just like, oh, so great. Yeah.
It's transformative, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's almost as if Happy Whale was just waiting for like the general public's technology, and in most people's phones are good enough to get a decent photo.
Exactly.
So it's just positioned themselves perfectly to be able to really use all that new information that's coming in.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. Okay. Do you have any other facts about common dolphins or Dolphin Zone that you wanted to share that we haven't asked you yet?
I think I'd like to talk about some of the threats to them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So common dolphins are by far the most bycaught down here. It used to be harbour porpoises, but now it's common dolphins. And that's a real concern. There's a lot of work going on to prevent bycatch and to reduce its impact, which is fantastic and extremely important. And later on, hopefully, I'll be able to tell you about a particular bycaught dolphin that I encountered. But I think what I'm really concerned about is a bit of an existential threat to the dolphins. If we just measure their success by their abundance, then we could be losing whole cultures, and whole families.
Yeah.
Whole ways of life. And we know that we've already got a change in social structure. So we have got these smaller pods. We've got calving here. Looks like it might be happening at around 3-year calving intervals. So they are really vulnerable here, and they are very much loved by the public, as they should be. But that brings its own threat, in people who, well-meaning, but will approach the dolphins perhaps in a way which might split up mothers and calves, or which may disrupt feeding activity. So I'm really keen to build a kind of a behavioural ecology understanding of their social structure, and I'm going to have to start with the ones here because I've got a really good data set and including about their behaviour, and to kind of not have people think that because there are a lot of them, they're okay.
Yeah. It's always hard.
They might not be.
Yeah. Can you say, like, we've talked about calving and feeding. Do they do anything else that you've seen so far behavior-wise? They're the smaller pods, but do they do like still super pods sometimes? Do they do, I don't know, they're common dolphins. Do they do lots of flippy jumps and flips, dolphin stuff?
Guys, they do it all.
Yeah.
If you name it, they do it. They are amazing. So we see a whole range of behaviours. We see a lot of breaching. And actually, that's one of the questions for my research is I'm convinced that there is more than one reason for a breach. I was, you will know Denise Hertzing from the Spotted Dolphins in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
But she said that they've got this camera that goes above and below the water with the dolphins. And she said that they assumed a breach, as I assumed breach, was an expression of joy or maybe physical fitness. Apparently their dolphins are going up and then they're coming down and they're having punch-ups under the water.
Okay.
That just blew my mind.
Yeah.
So it just shows that what we think we know about behaviour may not be what we think we know. So I'm interested in different kinds of breaches. Our dolphins, I've seen them spy hop. I've seen what looks like a group of young males tail slapping in some kind of big boy competition about who's got the big skippers.
Yep.
We think we see some of the skippers who I work with, and I've got the healthiest respect for the people who are on the water with them all the time.
All the time, yeah.
They think that they see decoy dolphin pods. So they think that if a group is being harassed by boaters, they think that sometimes a group of kind of fit dolphins is sent to lead the harassing boats away.
Interesting.
Extraordinary.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not supposed to love this the most, but oh my goodness, when they bow ride.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's just so they do that. They are and they make it really clear when they want to talk and when they want to play, and they vocalize when they bow ride. And my colleagues have got this catamaran which has got a net strung between the hulls, and it's a sailing catamaran, so sometimes it's just there's no noise other than the dolphins. And every time I got on it, right, Sarah, be professional, get your camera, do the video.
Yes.
Every time I fling myself splat down on the net.
Yep.
Nose to nose with a dolphin.
Oh my gosh.
Out there saying, oh my God, I'm nose to nose with this human. It's really weird.
Yeah. I feel like bow riding is one of those like good reminders that, you know, when we're out on the water, we are part of nature. We're not like separate from nature. Like it's a magical thing, and it's also a reminder that you're right in there with everything. It's not this other like over there thing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's magical.
You're living our dolphin girl dream.
Yep. Amazing.
Speaking of which, do you want to say, like, so we talked a little bit about your career change already. So what was it like going back? Did you have to, like, so you went back and did some more basic-y things, and then you did your master's. So what was that journey like, and what's it like now? Like, you're hoping to start a PhD. So, like, tell us a little bit more logistic-y kind of things.
I knew that I didn't know enough to work with the dolphins in any I won't say meaningful way, in any way that might be considered robust enough to lead to policy change or greater protection for them. Yeah. So I love being a student, and my last master's was in Shakespeare studies. It wasn't all that useful for the dolphin work.
No. But you probably knew how to read things and absorb information and learn. You learned how to learn. So
that's true. Yeah. And another one of my backgrounds is in psychology. So the animal behaviour masters at the University of Exeter is actually in the psychology department, which kind of gave me a way to slide into animal behaviour.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And my brain nearly fell off. In fact, for the statistics, it did fall off.
Yep. Probably what would happen if we went back. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't done maths since I was 16, and I wasn't very good at it then.
Yeah.
But I got through that, and I absolutely loved everything about behavioural ecology. And I had a chance to choose 50% of it as a research internship. Okay. And I had a chance to choose whether to do a desk-based internship, which was with whales, or whether to do field work studying European shags, the birds.
Okay. The birds, yep.
And I did that because I wanted to be outside. And I think I learned more about the marine environment from my hours and hours of looking at the birds than I did from anything else.
Yeah.
I think that's a good call.
I absolutely loved the course, loved the field work. And it showed me quite how much I didn't know, as well as teaching me more than I'd ever learned in a year. Yeah, I also realised how much I've got to learn. And even now, I finished 2 years ago, but even now a penny will drop and I'll think, oh, that's what that was about.
Yeah.
So when I started that course, nobody, and I think I kind of mentioned this already, but nobody said, what are you doing? You can't do this. Nobody assumed that I couldn't do it. And that was really, really helpful.
That's
and now
lovely.
I'm just, a 52-year-old teacher trundling along. I want to study dolphins.
Yeah.
And everybody said no.
Everybody was open and welcoming. That's great.
That's so great. Yeah.
And we have a really good marine bio community down here in southwest England. I've got people who've been incredibly generous with data and knowledge and patience and supporting me through this process and ultimately supporting the dolphins.
Yeah, we met you through Emily, our friend of the pod. So that's that's so great. It just makes me want to go over there and hang out with you guys and win the dolphins. Let's go to England,
where you
Sarah.
can see dolphins.
Yeah.
Yep. I know, right?
You should come.
We'll figure something out sometime.
Yeah, one day.
Very cool. Okay. Is there anything else before we move on to sort of our segments that you hope that we had asked or that you wanted to talk about?
In terms of, I was thinking about calves in particular, and there are slightly varying estimates around the world of calving intervals, and I'm kind of very open on how that is, but I guess something that I'm still looking to learn is what measures have been taken around calving dolphins of any species around the world. So anything that's kind of successful, because obviously we have to do a lot of discussion with stakeholders. We have to talk to fishers and the wildlife operators. So I'm really, really keen to hear from anybody who's got real practical experience of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. And just like, obviously calving is so important, but it also helps learn behavior, like short term and long term, and just,
For sure.
we just got to keep learning.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Before we continue with the rest of the episode, we want to take a moment to tell you about how you can support our podcast and everything we do at Whale Tales.
You can join us by becoming a patron at patreon.com/whaletales. You can join for $1 a month at the porpoise level, $5 a month at the dolphin level, or $10 a month at the whale level.
And each level comes with a variety of perks, like polls, postcards, extended interviews, extra stories, and producing your own Fun Flipper Fact segment of the pod, where you basically get to send me on a wild whale chase to find information as nuanced and specific in the deepest, darkest corners of the abyss as you would like it to be. Plus, our whale and dolphin level patrons also get access to our extra podcasts that we release only on Patreon. So for dolphin and whale level patrons, every other month we do Journal Club, which is what's coming up this month, where we read a scientific article and then discuss it amongst ourselves. And then we also open up the discussion to patrons on Patreon to hear their comments. This month's Journal Club article is about whale snot.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Thank you so much to all of our patrons. You are truly amazing. We are so grateful for all of your support.
We love you, love you, love you.
Indeed. If you aren't able to support us financially, there are still lots of things you can do to help us out. You can leave us a rating or a review on your podcast platform of choice, like Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can also leave us comments on Spotify, which is very fun. And this will help other people find the podcast. And also you can just tell people about things in real life, like who knew? So yeah, if you want to tell your sciencey, cetacean-loving podcast friends all about the podcast and everything we do at Whale Tales, that would be amazing.
And you can follow us on social media at whaletales_org. Plus, send us your feedback so we can keep making the podcast even better.
Okay, sadly, Nicole is not here. Maybe we can get her to phone in and sing you a little song. But
Is she going to sing me the Fun Flipper Fact song?
I hope so. I'll send her a text and see if she can do an insert so you can still get your song. I know that's the most important part for all guests, is to get their special song. So I would like to say now it is Fun Flipper Fact time, which is way more boring than Nicole does it. But if you would like to share a fun fact about any cetacean, we would love to hear it.
Is it mean of me to say, please sing first?
Oh, I will not sing.
You don't want to hear us sing.
No.
That's what Nicole's for.
That's what Nicole's for.
We will make her, we'll put it in the actual episode. We'll
put it in the
insert
song and you can hear it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Nicole coming to you a little bit outside of the regular recording of the pod. Due to unforeseen circumstances, I was not able to make the interview with Sarah, to which I will be eternally devastated and will try to rectify because I was so excited to meet her. But I did happen to hear that she was sad that I was not there to sing her a Fun Flipper Fact song. And so I have popped out to my car at work to record one right here for you, Sarah, that we can hopefully get into the pod in time. So without any further ado, here it goes. Oh, Sarah, you're super cool. And I'm really, really sorry I missed you. I cannot wait to hear the Fun Flipper Fact you put in our ears. And that is what is coming up. So I think I can just shut up. But first I need to say again that you are super duper, super cool. It's time for your Fun Flipper Fact.
So I volunteer for the Marine Strandings Network, which records dead stranded cetaceans in our area. And I was privileged enough to record, although it's a very sad story, to record a sperm whale calf, which was the first ever sperm whale washed up in Devon. And I managed to be on the beach watching the post-mortem on the beach, and it blew my mind. But I don't know what I thought was inside sperm whale heads and dolphin heads. I just had this kind of vague idea of acoustic apparatus and a really big brain. But it's fat. It's adipose tissue. But even better, they can change the shape of it when they're echolocating.
This is so weird.
Genuinely blew my mind.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Oh,
I just
sperm whales feel the closest thing in my brain to aliens.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
like it's just
Have you ever seen one close up?
No, just from seeing photos, like the photos when they're all vertical in the
yeah.
like
Yeah.
resting.
Yeah, and
No.
we just
It's on
got
the list.
there was a video of just vocalizations, like it was just a hydrophone video, and just like the different things that we do know about how their different vocalizations and how the different codas and stuff. And so we know how they vocalize, but like there's so much we don't know, what they're saying, how they behave, like just, and then they go down there and they eat the big squids, and it's just, and then they've got all the stuff going on in their heads. Yeah.
Even common dolphins have got geographical variation in their whistles.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
One
is
day we'll
great.
know what they're saying, I hope.
Yeah.
I guess that's what sent me back to do this work is, have you read How to Speak Whale by Tom Mustill?
No, it's on our list. Our
Yeah.
one day book list that we'll make.
Whale book
It
club.
made me think, when we can speak whale, what will we say?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
And that's really one of my driving forces is I want to be able to say I tried and I did stuff.
Yeah.
Whales and
Yeah.
dolphins.
Yeah.
But highly recommend it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Man, I don't think I've been to some necropsies, but I don't think I ever saw inside of the skull. If I did, I blocked it out because I was so distracted by all the other organs and smell.
Yeah.
But
Smell the stomachs? Who knew? I think because I'm so behaviour focused, I don't think I'd really thought about what was
Yeah.
inside.
it's such a weird thing. You just think like, oh, it's an animal. It's got the normal animal things in there. But yeah, so many different things. Yeah, adapted for swimming.
Extraordinary.
Amazing. Okay, so now the part where I don't have to sing to introduce my segment. If you'd like to share a whale tale with us about any species at any time, you already shared this amazing your first
your
whale
first,
watching trip, which
Yeah.
sounds absolutely incredible. If you have any others that you'd like to share.
I have so many.
I
but
bet.
The one I was thinking about sharing is one that's had the most profound effect on me. As I mentioned, I recently started volunteering for the Marine Strandings Network, and I was on a local peninsula called Start Point, checking on the welfare of a white-coat seal pup, actually, when the call came through that there was a newly dead dolphin on a beach nearby. And I went down, and I mean, I've seen dead dolphins before, really decomposed ones, but this dolphin was the most beautiful thing I think I've ever seen. And in some ways, the saddest thing I've ever
Yeah.
seen. So I was able, with some help of members of the public, to recover her body for post-mortem. We brought her up the beach, and I never want to touch a common dolphin again, but I will as a marine recorder. And I just looked at her, and she was so freshly killed, and she was killed by a gill net, which is a very fine net that was close into shore. So she hadn't died very long ago. So she still had everything intact. There was no scavenge marks. She had eyes, and I had to keep checking that she was actually dead because she just looked so vibrant. She was lactating.
Oh no.
Yeah. So that broke my heart. And the colours on her tail, these dolphins are supposed to be black, yellow and white, but she was blue and she was grey and she looked like she'd been painted. She was so beautiful. And it was a really windy, stormy day on the beach. So there were only 3 people there, and a couple came up and they said, what's happened? And I said, and this was prior to having it confirmed by the pathologist, but I said it may be that she was caught in a fishing net. So I need to wait for confirmation. And their eyes filled with tears because her presence was still so powerful. And we all had a moment, and they apologised to her, kind of on behalf of the human nation to the dolphin nation. And I asked them, I research dolphins. I've got this photo ID I'm doing. Anybody who finds a dolphin, I invite them to name the dolphin. Would you like to name her? And they looked at each other and they said, "She's called Ty." I didn't ask why.
Yeah.
They were just very moved. And so Ty's body was recovered for post-mortem. Ty then, findings about her were then reported to the government. And then when I went to a United Nations meeting, an Azkaban's meeting of the Common Dolphin Group, the head of the Cetacean Stranding Investigation Programme put up my photo of Ty. So I really felt that in that moment it was profoundly moving and painful. It impacted somebody else, which is, although they were sad, I wouldn't wish that on them, but that's what my work is about. It's getting this care for them. She then went to policy level. Nice. And that's everything right there. That encounter was a microcosm of everything I hope to achieve. And I think about her a lot.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. And in order to keep from crying on the podcast, I'll just transition that, which is a great transition, into what people who are listening can do to help support dolphins and the environment they live in. And obviously, you've gone back to school, taken a master's, become an amazing advocate, researcher, like influencing policy decisions with your knowledge. But and I think that's an amazing inspirational thing. But is there a smaller step or some other step that people can take?
As well as local plea for photos, obviously.
Of course,
The more global plea, I think, is to think about where fish come from. And it's that simple. I've done a little bit of work with the southern residents, obviously.
Yep.
They are the the sentinel for what happens if a population isn't managed, not by the people who try and support them, but in terms of fisheries and so on. And it's back to, again, common dolphins. There may be a lot of them, but no common dolphin says, well, I don't mind my mum being caught by a fisher because there's 6 million others of them. They don't think like that. So it's really thinking about where your seafood comes from.
Yeah, always a great one. Always something that impacts
great reminder.
Everybody everywhere.
Yeah. And I think especially that gillnet example is it's not just about taking food away from whales. Yeah. It's how the fish are caught. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, great reminder. Well, that was a delightful,
magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So great to catch up with you. And I think hopefully our listeners are as inspired and delighted as we are. And we're just so grateful that you came in and spent this time with us today.
Yeah. I just can't believe that I've been able to, been given the opportunity to talk about these dolphins. And, when people say we don't know much about common dolphins, that really excites me, because the next step is we want to know more about common dolphins.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the rest of my life's purpose, I think. Just trying to do 30 years research in the next 10, I can do that,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, you could, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely possible. Well, we are so grateful that we got to meet you and talk to you, and keep us updated on Dolphin Zone and also your research and your PhD and all of the things that you learn. And we're so excited to
and there's so much more to learn. The one thing I know for sure is that I really don't know anywhere near enough.
Yeah, we all, I think absolutely.
As soon as you start diving into something that you're like, there's like this graph of like, as you start learning, it goes up and you like know everything, and then you learn more and it like drops immediately down.
There's just so much more.
You sort of hit that cliff. Yeah.
And especially like with animals that are like all animals, but animals that are hard to study due to their marine lifestyle. It's just like, every answer opens up like exponentially more questions. So
indeed. Yeah. And it's changing too, as we've talked about.
Yeah, as you said, Oh, so amazing. Thank you. This was fantastic. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
That wraps up this month's episode. Thank you so much to Sarah for being here with us. And now, listeners, we would love to hear your thoughts on this episode and how incredible Sarah is. Yes, she is. Please visit our website, whale-tales.org, and find links to all of our different social media handles so that you can drop us a line wherever is most convenient for you.
You can also head to our website to subscribe to the podcast, learn about supporting us and becoming a patron, and check out over 1,600 whale, dolphin, and porpoise stories.
That's whale-tales.org. Tales like the stories, not tales like the animal.
You can find Sarah on LinkedIn. Sarah just got an H on there.
Yep.
And you can find the Dolphin Zone on Facebook or dolphinzone.org, all one word. Instagram is coming, says Sarah. It might be out by the time this episode airs, but so check out the website and hopefully find a link to Instagram from there.
Nice. And as always, if you've seen a cetacean, we would absolutely love to add your story to our library. You can click the share link on our website, or you can just contact us on social media at whaletales_org, or you can always email us a voice memo and tell us all about your incredible cetacean encounter.
Finally, we want to acknowledge that we recorded today's episode on the unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples and the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Shianu, and Sauk nations.
Thank you everyone so much, and we hope you have a whaley great day.